So this is going to be my account of reading 12 Rules for Life by Peterson. And I will try and talk about my realizations. I will just read everything I've marked, although I will focus on the most important sentences in each marking and what it did to me, what the realizations were that I had. So I'll just start with the first one, which is, but the story of the golden calf also reminds us that without rules we quickly become slaves to our passions, and there's nothing freeing about that. So this refers basically to my life in the last 9 months. So end of May 2017 I quit my job, a job I really liked. I was working there for 4.5 years. I had lots of purpose. I did something meaningful, I did something good, but I decided that I need something different. And I decided that that different thing should be becoming a digital nomad, perpetual traveler. And one of the main reasons for that was to test an idea. I wanted to test if I can earn enough money by betting on tennis matches and also court-siding tennis matches. And I really wanted to test that out. I also wanted to travel the world. So that was basically two of the things I wanted to do combined. And the third reason was that in my job there were more and more demands since I became a manager, and also it was expected of me to show up in the early morning, which is really not something that I like, to be awake in the early morning. So yeah, I decided to quit. And one of the sentences that came up was, I want to create a life that is structured around freedom. I think it's already interesting, something is structured around freedom. So you already have the structure, but the structure is somehow around the freedom. So at its very core, my yearning was to become free, to become fully free. And after 9 months, I have to say that that's not the case. And it fits so well, because it says here, the story of the golden calf also reminds us that without rules we quickly become slaves to our passions. That's basically what I have become. So I wanted to do the tennis betting and court-siding to free myself up to do meaningful things. And somehow I'm totally focused on the expedient now, on just earning money and focusing on the betting, and totally becoming immersed in this passion to a level that is you can say it is an addiction. I'm addicted to betting, to that thrill, also to the thrill of being courtside and trade matches courtside, and just not knowing, will someone notice me and throw me out. And that's a thrill. And that, combined with traveling the world constantly, like being nowhere for more than 2 weeks, most places only 1 week, that has totally messed up my structure, and in a way also my freedom, because I just live into the day now. There's not much. I mean, the tennis tournaments structure my days, but apart from that, I don't have a constant sleep rhythm. I just realized I could do one video just on one mark. So that would be 20 videos for the forward alone if it's like the same quality, which is a bit crazy, but it's helpful to just talk about things to yourself. I mean, it's even more helpful to talk about things to other people, but that's not always, the circumstances are not always like that, because especially when traveling on your own. So yeah, there's nothing freeing about that. There's nothing freeing about becoming a slave to your own passions. And I thought, before I went on this journey, I thought that is freedom. That is freedom to just live into the day, to just be who you are. Because earlier in the paragraph it says, I'm a free agent. My first reaction to a command might just be that nobody, not even God, tells me what to do. And that is a phrase I actually used before before I read that, because I tend to just not give a fuck what anyone tells me. I just don't care. My internal world guides my life. My ideals, my passion, my values, and I got a bit lost, because I thought I would use this expedient thing of trading and betting to free myself up, to having enough money to do meaningful things, namely personality coaching type consultations, and I still do the learning part. So I still watch and learn to become a coach, expose myself to various different methods of helping people, but I'm not implementing any of that. And that is because my flow state is learning, but I'm not using it for anything meaningful. To me, it feels meaningful already to just learn, but at the moment I'm in the grip. Yeah, and this is what this paragraph describes very well. And there's nothing freeing about that. I wouldn't say nothing. There's like elements that are... I still like this freedom to some degree, but I know it's not healthy. And that's quite important. And I've realized that real freedom is when you don't have to constantly think what to do next. And I mean, I don't really constantly think about what to do next, because it's pure impulse at the moment. But to have a structure of doing this at this hour, on this day, every day possibly, that can be freeing, because you don't have to think about. You can schedule in the learning and dedicate these hours for learning, and dedicate these hours for implementing, and dedicate these hours for betting or trading even. But yeah, it's very difficult if you don't structure it. And that's what I have to do. And that's what watching Peterson videos and reading this book has made me realize. Yeah, and the next paragraph is also interesting, because it talks about regulation, and well, that is related to rules, but it's like there's no regulative force anymore. The only regulative force currently is me, and I'm not really a regulative force. I'm just living into the day. And sometimes I do things. Sometimes I implement things, but it's not planned and it's random, and it takes forever for me to achieve the things that I want to achieve. Yeah, and that's what I think this paragraph is about, and it's good to realize that. And yeah, it took me 10 minutes to talk about one mark that I made for this book. So I don't know, I'll see what I do with this.